Could it really be that a war was fought over a narcotic? Would you believe that the British Empire once used opium to manipulate and control an entire nation? Buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the Opium Wars and the British imperial strategy in China. In the early 19th century, Britain had a problem. They craved tea, silk, and porcelain from China, but China wasn't interested in what they had to offer. This trade imbalance led the British to a sinister solution: opium. Grown in British-controlled India, it was smuggled into China, creating an addiction problem on a massive scale. Tensions rose until the summer of 1839 when the Chinese government, fed up with the impact of opium on its society, confiscated and destroyed over 20,000 chests of British opium. This sparked the First Opium War. British gunboats, far superior to the Chinese junks, dominated the coastlines and rivers, and by 1842, China had no choice but to surrender. The Treaty of Nanking, signed that same year, marked the end of the First Opium War. It was the first of what China would later call the unequal treaties. China had to open up 5 ports to foreign trade, cede Hong Kong to Britain, and pay a hefty indemnity. However, the peace didn't last. The Second Opium War broke out in 1856 when Chinese officials boarded a Hong Kong-registered ship, the Arrow, alleging piracy and smuggling. Britain, joined by France, once again declared war on China. The war ended in 1860 with the Treaty of Tientsin, forcing China to open more ports to foreign trade, legalize the opium trade, and cede parts of Kowloon to Britain. In both wars, Britain used its naval superiority and manipulated the opium trade to impose its will on China. It was a ruthless display of imperial power, an exploitation of a nation's weakness for its gain. The Opium Wars left a deep scar on China's national psyche, a symbol of a period referred to as the Century of Humiliation. So, a war over a narcotic? Yes, indeed. And more than that, the Opium Wars were a chilling demonstration of how a powerful nation could exploit trade and addiction to subdue another. It's a dark chapter in the annals of British imperial history and a pivotal point in China's history, setting the stage for the radical transformations of the 20th century. Isn't history fascinating? Remember, it's not just about dates and places. It's about understanding the forces that shape our world, forces like trade, power, and in this case, addiction. So the next time you sip your tea or admire a piece of fine porcelain, remember the complex and sometimes dark history behind these everyday luxuries. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.